We're going to turn now to President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who is here with me. Would you like to respond to the congressman who says he has the right, and the committee has the right, for all of this information? Do you agree that the public has the right?
I would like him to get all the information.
Including the things that are protected, grand jury material?
But I can't control that, and I can't change the law. And the Attorney General has a difficult job. And I didn't appreciate his suggestion the Attorney General would be biased. I know Bill Barr for many, many years. I think people in this town know him. He's a man of the highest integrity. Also, everything he's doing is also being run by Rod Rosenstein. That report was put out by Barr and Rosenstein.
The four-page summary.
Yeah, Rosenstein started the investigation, supervised the investigation, allowed the special counsel to do things that I thought were kind of off base. He certainly gave them full scope to do their entire investigation. There'd be no reason why Rod Rosenstein would sign his name to something that says they found no evidence of collusion, no evidence of obstruction. They couldn't reach a conclusion on obstruction.
Right.
So then Rosenstein and Barr did no obstruction. I guarantee you, except for little quibbles, I'm not worried about the report at all. There's no way those two good lawyers would have written that kind of letter if there's any issue.
Is the president waiving all executive privilege? I mean, he said publicly he thinks this report should be made public.
The president's cooperation with this investigation was unprecedented. Bill Clinton fought every single subpoena. And it was a knockdown, drag-out battle.
But then he did ultimately sit down and do an interview.
That's why he had to.
The president never did, though.
But that's why the president didn't have to, because they couldn't have won in court. They had every piece of information. They couldn't suggest a question they didn't have the answer to, because we supplied him with the answers to everything. And the president did answer questions in writing.
So I want to ask you about that, but to be clear here, is the president waiving all executive privilege? As
far as I know, he has. But he can't waive all executive privilege. There are also other people that have executive privilege.
So there will be information withheld from this report?
I don't know, Margaret. I don't know. The Attorney General has said he's going to put out the maximum amount of information possible. The only thing that will stop him will be legal barriers. I hope there are few, because I don't like what Jerry Nadler just did, innuendo, and there must be more. Look, Jerry Nadler prejudged this case a year ago. He was talking about impeachment. He was overheard on Amtrak talking about impeachment well before the report came out. So when he talks about the Attorney General being biased, my goodness, and on his committee, he's got some of the most rabid people that hate Trump. We're not going before a court here. We're going before a political body.
Well, do you fear that
highly partisan and has made up its mind?
You and the president have welcomed the four-page summary. Do you think that the 400-page report is going to be more damaging?
No, I don't think so.
So when you say
I'll give you another reason I don't think so.
You support the disclosure,
when the leakers...
Will the president tell the Attorney General to...
The president has left it to the Attorney General. The president can't make the decisions about...
But you just said that he's not decided on executive privilege yet.
Has told everybody, the world, I am comfortable with everything being released. Now, the president can't change the law. Now the Attorney General has to apply that. He wants to do maximum transparency. I'm sure we'll get just about all of it. I hope we get all of it.
Do you think then that the interview that the president didn't sit for but provided written answers to, will you make those answers public if you support full transparency?
The Attorney General will make it public if he believes it should be made public.
Well, can't the president decide to make his own answers public?
Once it's all over, maybe. Let's see what the Attorney General does first. Why don't we wait until the Attorney General files the report, and then if we want to complain about it, we can complain about it. I have another.
There will be no evidence of obstruction of justice in these 400 pages.
I'm going to tell you why I'm confident there'll be no evidence of anything really bad, because the leakers, and Nadler was wrong about that too. The Mueller group has been leaking all along. How did CNN end up at Roger Stone's raid?
Well, they have their own explanation as to good reporting there. Yeah, but for 22 months, you have to acknowledge the special counsel's office did not leak.
Hell no. I got plenty of, they're saying this, they're saying that. They knew all about our battle over questions. They knew about the positions we took.
But you're impugning their credibility and their conduct, but you are actually accepting and supporting their conclusions.
Far more credible. Yes,
that's a bit contradictory.
No, it's not at all, Margaret. He was clear.
You're accusing them of bias, but you agree with their conclusions.
And that's because there's no evidence. If they could have found anything, if Andrew Weissman, who was crying at Hillary Clinton's losing party, couldn't find anything, if Ms. Rhee, who was counsel to the Clinton Foundation, couldn't find anything, believe me, there was nothing there. And they tried to make things up. They put so much pressure on people keeping them in solitary confinement.
Republicans shouldn't be pushing back on full disclosure of the report.
No Republicans pushing back on full disclosure of the report. I haven't heard any Republican that isn't in favor of full disclosure.
Well, in terms of Jerry Nadler's making an argument.
Jerry Nadler is making it
on different grounds of constitutional oversight.
He's making a phony argument. Jerry Nadler can't change the law. The law is the law. The Attorney General has to apply the law. Jerry Nadler is a biased, completely predetermined. Does he want us to believe that he's going to give us a fair hearing? He announced, and some of his members have announced a year ago that he should be impeached.
He just said he wants to have perhaps some of the investigators come before his committee and answer questions. Do you support that?
Why, for a political show?
No, but why not? They have oversight.
Mueller.
If some people in the Justice Department did think the president committed obstruction of justice, shouldn't they be heard out? And if there's nothing to it, why not allow it?
Can we listen to the report first? The four leakers, or the leakers who leaked to the New York Times that there are problems in the report, did you notice they leaked no specific? I can't imagine that the reporter didn't ask. Give me an example. Well, give me an example of something in the report that suggests that the president obstructed justice.
Some have argued that it's almost forcing Barr's hand, though, to follow through and not keep that public. But
in other words, these people who hate him, that were willing to commit close to a criminal act, to say there are bad things in the report, if they have some dynamite, they're not going to give it to the guy?
Is the president considering a pardon for Michael Flynn?
The president is not considering pardons at this time.
And he wouldn't for Michael Flynn?
You mean ever in the whole history of his presidency?
You've not discussed it?
How do I know?
You haven't discussed it?
Yes, we discussed it at the very beginning and decided the whole question of pardons would be put off.
On Michael Cohen, you just heard Chairman Nadler there talk about the offer that was made by Cohen's attorneys to come in and provide some of this information.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious.
They have text messages, apparently recordings, according to the attorney. What is on this?
If Jerry Nadler wants to convince me he's interested in the truth, then he should be recommending a prosecution of Cohen for his last appearance before the Congress when he lied about...
Well, he is going to jail.
No.
Wait. But are you confident, though, that Cohen doesn't have damaging information in these millions of bytes he claims
he's going to jail? But after he got convicted of that, and after he promised to cooperate and tell the truth, he went before Congress and he made a fool out of the committee. He was asked, did you ever ask for a job? He said, no, I never asked for a job. Yes, he asked for a job. He asked me to get him a job. He asked 100 other people to get him a job. And there is a tape, contemporaneous tape with Chris Cuomo, in which he says, I want to be chief of staff. And Cuomo says, good luck, Mike. I hope you get it. Direct, absolute perjury, trying to make himself look like he's not a disgruntled office seeker.
So you don't think he has anything damaging to the president in all these recordings?
I have no confidence that these people care about the truth. Chairman Cummings told him...
But as to what Cohen has...
Please. Chairman Cummings told Cohen, when he started his testimony, very dramatically, if you lie... I don't know if he said, I'll hang you to a cross or I'll throw the book at you, or... I haven't seen him throw anything at him. He lied about a job. He lied about a pardon. He lied about foreign representation. He lied about three other things. I'm still not
getting an answer on that question of whether you think there's damaging information that Cohen has. We have to leave the interview
Cohen has already spilled his guts.
So you don't think he has anything?
He has nothing at all incriminating on the president. Here's the disappointing thing for Jerry Nadler and all the Democrats. The president did nothing wrong. They are chasing him, harassing him. This is a total political endeavor now. If we put out that whole report, or almost all of it, and it clears the president, they should not be continuing this investigation. It's a political witch hunt.
All right, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you.